Okay. So just come and lie down on your backs. So for anyone who has got a back issue tonight, just really be gentle with yourself. Support yourself as you make your way down to the floor. Come onto your elbows and lower down. And just walk your feet in towards your bottom. And just check in with your lower back, because normally we have a natural arch in the lower back where you can just pop your hands under, but for this evening I really want you to roll your lower back down and into the mat, so all parts of your back are in contact with the floor, so you feel like your pelvis is kind of tilted up towards the ceiling, or your pubic bone. And just allow your hands to rest wherever feels comfortable for you, whether it's on your belly or by your sides. And then really just check the back of the neck is lengthened nice and long, so you're not holding any tension in the neck or the shoulders. And then just bring the awareness down to your feet. Just lifting the toes off the mat, placing them back down. Spreading the toes nice and wide. As crazy as it sounds, when you spread the toes wide, it kind of sends a message to your hips to relax and to open. So that's really nice, just to open up the toes, placing them down onto the floor. And just check that back still in contact with your mat. And if you haven't already done so, just close your eyes for a few moments and just bring your awareness inwards. And bring the awareness right to your breath in the here and now. And just allow yourself to breathe in through your nose. Nice long inhale. And exhale out through the mouth. And see if you can make the exhale last twice as long as the inhale. So if you want to count the breath, that helps you get the rhythm, or just go with what you feel. So a nice long deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth, nice and long. Letting go of your day. Just do that a few times. You've probably heard me say this a few times, but when we breathe in this way, we start to engage our parasympathetic nervous system. So that's the part of your nervous system that triggers your ability to relax and also your natural healing ability. It's really important that we find that breath just to center us and ground us before we start to move. So hopefully you've got your belt nearby or your rope, and just have it open above your chest, and just allow your right foot to come up towards the ceiling, and just see if you can hook your belt around the foot. Okay, so we're going to be really gentle here. You're holding the belt in both hands, one hand either side. And you're just gently pushing the heel up towards the ceiling. So the knee can stay bent. I recommend it stays bent, definitely to start off with, just to warm up your hamstrings. And then just allow your awareness to look to your left knee. Just make sure the left knee isn't swinging out to the side. It wants to stay pointing up to the ceiling. And try and keep the back of the neck nice and long. And the shoulders are relaxed and down. So the hands are just supporting the rope. They're just holding them there. So they're not, your shoulders aren't lifting off the floor. They're still in contact with the mat. And then as that starts to relax off, if it does, you might want to straighten the leg a little bit more, or you can bend the knee a little bit more if that feels better for you, drawing it in towards you. So just have a play, just move very gently that right leg up and down. And if you're one of the lucky ones that haven't got any back or sciatic issues tonight, just extend your left leg out long along the mat if that feels good for you. But if the back is causing you any trouble at all, just keep that left foot on the floor, so the back really stays rolled down. Even with the leg out though, you can really engage your core and still keep your lower back in contact with the mat. So just keep that theme. So just allow the breath to release any tension out the back of the leg. If the hamstring's feeling tight, you might feel a little bit juddering. That's normal, just as long as it doesn't turn painful. A bit of discomfort's okay, but no pain. Good, and if you've got the leg extended, just walk the foot back in, release your rope and place your right foot back down onto the mat. And just adjust your back position again, make sure the lower back's down on the mat. And then let's hook that belt over the left foot. And just start again on the other side. So again, just notice what's different here. So allow the awareness to be in your lower back and in your hamstring or the space behind your knee. And then just gently playing, moving that leg in whatever way feels good for you. And again, just mindful that that right knee is pointing straight up towards the ceiling, hasn't gone drifting off to the side. So again, even, if you're not someone who suffers with any back issues, this is a really good way of preventing any back issues as well. While you're rolling your lower back into the floor, you're engaging your core muscles here, drawing the tummy muscles in. Or if you've been sat at a desk all day, and your lower back probably has been a bit rounded and your upper back, it's just a really nice way to reset your spine and just look after your general health. So releasing that left foot when you're ready. Sorry, I didn't give you the option to extend the right leg out. Hopefully you've done that, if that feels good for you. So releasing that left foot and placing both feet back onto the mat. And just move your rope out to the side. And then just crossing your right leg over your left knee. So let that be really easy and natural, okay? So the right foot's active, and you can place your right hand onto the thigh and just gently, like you're massaging the leg away from you. So just take it nice and easy. And again, have a sense of the lower back being in contact with the floor or your mat. And maybe have your left hand on your navel area or on your stomach, just to feel you're drawing the abdominal muscles down towards the floor. Imagine your belly button really wants to draw to your spine and down to the mat. So if it feels good for you and you want to go a bit further, you can bring the left foot off the mat and thread the needle, as it's called. You take your hands through, your right hand through the center of your legs and the left hand around the outside, and just hold around the back of the thigh. If you want to do that and use the belt, you can just thread the belt through as well and just use that just to help pull that leg towards you. So just have a play, see what feels good for you. Keep this left foot active as well. And hopefully you'll start to feel the muscles in the right buttock area. So they do get tight, and this is the problem area when you've got any sciatic issues, or you get lower back pain as well. It can kind of transfer into this space here in the outer hip, and it can feel really uncomfortable. Okay, so if you are feeling any discomfort there, a little bit's okay, but again, if it gets too painful, just back off and just come back to the first position. Just here, because you're opening up those muscles as well. Now, if you're feeling good and that's nice and easy for you, you've got the option to extend that left leg up to the ceiling as well. And then that just brings your hamstring stretched back in, but keep your awareness on this right knee moving away from you. You're still feeling the opening of the muscles in the glutes. And just connect to your breathing, relax the breath. Nice long inhale and long exhale. And I like to think, if you can hear the sound of the breath slightly, I like to think of the breath like the waves washing on a beach. The inhale as the waves wash out, and the exhale as the waves wash onto the beach. Just another nice visual, just to help you relax a little bit more. Good. And then if you've got the leg in the air, drawing it back down and releasing that left foot back to the mat, place the right foot back onto the floor. Just make sure your back muscles are in contact with the floor again. Find your neutral, and then crossing the left leg over the right. And again, that left foot is active. So just start here and gently massaging that left thigh away from you. This is really nice as well. If you tighten the hip crease area, you can really feel this space opening up, like as you're rolling, you know, use the heel of your hands to roll the thigh out away from your inner thigh. So you're rolling the tissue away from the hip, opening up that space. And again, the option, if that feels okay, you can either use your belt to thread the needle, or you can bring your hands through and hold around the back of the thigh, and then right foot is active. Notice the right leg is kind of at a right angle, so it's not flopping down here. It's nice and alert and active. And again, just notice what's different on this side. One side is bound to hold more tension than the other, so just notice which side feels better for you. And the more stronger you want to work, you just have to squeeze the thigh towards you a little bit closer. And then option to extend the right leg up to the ceiling, opening up the back of the hamstring. Good. And just settle into your breath again, really relax and let go. Okay, and then releasing, bringing the leg back down if it's up, placing the foot back onto the mat, and both feet back on the mat now, and just walk the feet a little bit closer to your bottom if that feels okay for you. Lift the toes off the mat, spread the toes wide, place them back down onto the floor, and just check your lower back is rolled into the mat again. Bring your arms back down by your sides, palms facing down, fingertips lengthening away from you. And we're just going to lift our hips off the floor. I really want you to roll the pelvis back down into the mat and then lift up very slowly and gently. Not all the way up, you're not going into a full bridge pose, especially if you've got back discomfort. Just stay nice and low, just lifting the hips up. Just put a little bit of tension into the buttocks as well, just to support you. And imagine your knees are moving away from you. So you're pushing down into the feet, knees like they're moving away, and a gentle squeeze between the thighs. Use the arms as levers just to lift and open the chest. And then exhale, slowly rolling the spine back down towards the mat. Feel each vertebra of the spine roll down really slowly. And then down and out through the tailbone, but keep the lower back connected with the mat. And let's go again. Inhale, lifting up, rolling the tailbone back towards the navel, lifting up. Just a little bit of tension into the buttocks, just coming up as much as feels good for you. If your back's feeling good and you want to go into a full bridge pose, feel free to lift even higher, but please don't lift high if there's back discomfort or any discomfort in the glute area. Nice long deep breath in, and then exhale, slowly rolling each vertebra back down towards the mat and really connecting the tailbone back down as you come back to neutral. Just feel the whole back connect with the floor. Spread your toes wide again, lift the toes off the mat. Let's keep the toes lifted this time as we lift up again. So roll the tailbone back and down like it's rolling towards the navel as you lift up. Keep the toes lifted if you can, keep spreading the toes wide. Imagine you're gently squeezing something between your legs. If you're working a bit deeper, feel free to lift the hips higher and the chest higher. Otherwise, just stay nice and low. Keep drawing the navel towards your spine. And exhale, rolling back down through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Feeling the lower back touching down, the tailbone. And just rest for a moment. Okay, and from here, you're going to bring both knees in towards your chest. And then I want you to cross your right leg over your left. So in yoga, this pose is, well, this is the bottom half of this pose is Gomukhasana, which is the eagle pose, which is a balance. So for some of you who've done that balance, you'll remember we've done this with the feet flat on the floor, obviously, when we stood up. So you're getting that nice crossover in the legs. And from here, just gently bring the knees a little bit closer towards your chest. So that might be enough. If you can, you could maybe hold the ankles, or maybe you can hold the outer edges of your feet. So just feel what feels good for you. I'm going to settle here with my ankles or onto my shins. And again, we're just in this area here in the outside of the right buttock. You should feel that opening up the muscles there. I've noticed actually the more running I do, I have to be aware that this space gets tight for me. And sometimes I feel like I'm dragging my leg around after me while I'm running. So it's almost like a heaviness that's there, and I can feel the tension right in this part of my glute muscles. So it's really important to stretch out. Open up that space. And the same if you've been sat on a chair all day. You know, those glute muscles need a good stretch out as well, you know, and they need tightening up. Sounds counterintuitive, but you need to strengthen the muscles and then stretch them back out again. Keep squeezing towards you. And releasing, just take that left foot back down towards the mat and uncross. And then let's do the other side. So left leg crosses over the right. Draw the knees to your chest and just start here, knees coming to center. Just gently rocking the knees in towards you. And then feeling, can you take hold of the shins or the ankles and just get a little bit more squeeze in towards you. So again, just work with whatever feels good for you tonight. And just notice if the left side of the buttock feels a little bit more open or a bit tighter than the other side. And just bring your awareness back to the breath again. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And listening to the sound of your breathing. And then releasing, bringing the right foot back to the mat, uncrossing the legs, and then just bring both knees into the chest. Just give yourself a hug. So it'll be a nice gentle hug, or you might want to squeeze the knees in towards you a little bit more, just gently rocking from side to side. And then just rolling over to the side, just allow yourself to come and settle for a moment. And then just bring your left hand onto the floor, push your way back up and come up to a seated position. I'm going to sit and face you. Good, so you might want to put a cushion under your bottom if that feels better for you. And either way, just make sure you spread your sit bones into the mat. Just move your buttocks out of the way. Feet are nice and active. Spread your toes as wide as you can. And then draw your right foot up towards you. And just hold it here for a moment. And I really want you to sit up nice and tall, extending out through the spine. And just focus on pulling that right leg in towards you. So you really want your rib cage pushing against that right thigh. And just feeling that contact there. And then we're going to move. We're going to take this left arm around the leg. Just in whatever way feels good for you. And again, you should feel us connecting into this right side of the buttock. And just take the other arm behind you. Now, before you move any further, sometimes what can happen here is when we're really squeezing that thigh in, we pull it across our center line to get more of a twist. I want you to do the opposite today. So I want you to create dynamic tension. So you're pulling the arm against the leg and the leg into the arm. So that knee stays right in line with your buttocks. As I said, right arm around the back, sit up nice and tall, and then just gently allow yourself to turn as much as feels good for you. So again, if you've got any lower back discomfort, you might not want to twist so far. Just take it nice and easy. If you want to go a little bit further, then feel free to. But keep that dynamic tension, pulling the knee into the arm and the arm into the knee. Left toes are active as well. Make sure they haven't flopped off to the side. They're pointing straight up. And breathe. Connect to the sound of your breath. Let it guide you. With each in-breath, think about breathing in strength. And with each out-breath, just feel yourself relaxing. Relaxing into your own inner strength as you breathe in. And relax as you breathe out. And then inhale, allow your head to turn to center. Bring that back arm around you. And just extend that right leg away. Okay, so just reset yourself, sit up nice and tall, and then draw that left foot in towards you. So again, just sit here, just feeling the alignment, feeling you really lifting out through your lower back, lifting up into that thigh, feeling that connection of your ribs onto your thigh. And as you sit here nice and tall, just notice how your back feels right now. Notice how the spine's feeling. Make sure those right toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And then when you feel ready, drawing the right arm around that left leg and the left hand going behind. And again, just finding that dynamic tension between your arm and your left leg. And then from there, just gently rotating round to the left. Whatever feels good for you. Just go as far as feels right for you this evening. And keep that tension between the leg and the arm as you breathe and relax. Keep drawing the navel in to the center, really squeezing it towards your spine so your core is really active. And inhale, returning back to center. And release that left leg out in front of you as well. Just shake the legs into the mat, just releasing any tension. Good, and then just make your way over onto all fours. Just for a moment, we're going to have our knees underneath our hips to start. And our wrists directly underneath our shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And we're just going to gently roll through some cat-cows. So just be really mindful here with the lower back as you let the navel sink towards the floor. We'll let the tailbone rise up. So just allow that move to be really gentle if your back's in any discomfort. Otherwise, just move normally. And then as you draw the navel to your spine, arch the spine. This is like the similar position of rolling the back into the floor. So this should feel really good. Drawing the navel up and in, letting the head drop. And then inhale, slowly moving back through. And just lifting the tailbone as high as feels good for you. Just sinking the belly towards the mat. And just work with that in your own time. Work with your breath. And as we take a couple more. So let this be your last one. As you next come out of your cat pose with the spine arched. And coming back to neutral. So option here for anyone who's got any problems with their wrists, come down onto the forearms. But if you're happy to stay up on the wrists, then do so. So that just makes it accessible for anyone who doesn't want to weight bear on their hands too long. We're not going to weight bear massively anyway, but I just want you to extend your right leg back behind you and really push out through the heel of that right leg. And as you do so, I want you to feel like you're drawing your navel really tightly in towards the spine and find as much space as you can between your shoulder blades, like you're pushing your upper back towards the ceiling. Now keep pushing out through that right leg, through the heel of the right foot. So this will just help to engage those core muscles a little bit more, just to keep everything supported. I'm going to come down onto my forearms just to show anyone what it might look like while you're in this position. So you've got to draw your navel in even more here to really get a sense of lifting up and back. So keep pushing, squeezing out, and then bring the right knee back in. And let's do the same on the left side. So squeezing that left leg away from you, really pushing out through the heel of that left foot. Feel your calf muscle probably firing up as well. Squeezing the navel to your spine. And just keep breathing and keep that space between the shoulder blades. So again, we're just holding this position here, but it's quite dynamic and it's very strength building, especially through your core. Let your breath be easy and natural. And then just place that knee back down onto the mat. Just come off the wrists for a moment. Just give them a spiral round, just to release any tension out of the wrists. And then I'm just going to give you another option if you want to work a little bit deeper. So come back down onto all fours. So the first option is to do the exact same as before, which is just extend the right leg out. Second option is to extend the left leg out with the right, so you're in a plank position. Now, if you want to go to a halfway point, you can just bring the knees to the mat. So you've got both legs back. You've really got to keep pushing out through the heels of the feet. So whichever option you choose, just either one leg back, both legs back, or both legs back with the knees down, but you're pushing back through the heels of the feet and really drawing your navel up towards your spine. You should feel your core really active here. Keep breathing. If you've got the right leg back, just bring the knee back in and then extend the left leg back behind you. So you're just swapping legs. At any point, obviously, if you want to come down, feel free to do so, because we'll be doing different things. Just keep breathing. And then when you're ready, allow both knees back to the mat. Take your knees nice and wide apart, toes touching, and just lengthen back into extended child's pose. Now, if you know your bottom doesn't want to go down towards your heels, put a cushion under your bottom. Just make it nice and soft, padded, and extend your arms forward. and breathe. So again, if you've got any discomfort in the back, just make sure you're really drawing your navel to the spine, even while you're relaxing forward in your extended child's pose. Make your way back up onto all fours, and then lower yourself very gently down towards the mat. So coming all the way down. Move your cushion out of the way if it's anywhere near you. And just place your hands on top of each other and just allow your head to turn to the left. Let your feet be as wide apart as your mat, and let your heels turn out to the side so your toes are pointing in slightly. And just breathe here, just for a little bit. Just completely relax and surrender into the floor. And again, if there's any tension creeping into the lower back, just feel like you're lengthening the tailbone away from you and drawing your navel to your spine. You're really supporting the lower back while you're here. Otherwise, just completely relax and let go if that feels good for you. This is called a crocodile pose. Really relaxing. And then just let your head turn and look over to the left. I'm going to keep looking at you. You've got your head turned to the left. Keep the shoulders relaxed and down. And just listen to the sound of your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your belly against the mat. And then just bring your forehead onto your hands. And then if it feels okay for you, I want you just to lift your forehead away from your hands so the eyes are looking down towards the mat. And just feel the space open up between your shoulder blades. So you're just lifting the chest away, looking straight down at your hands, pushing the arms firmly into the mat. And again, if you want to support your core a little bit more, just keep drawing the navel into your spine. And exhale, relaxing down. And then moving your hands now so that the elbows are just behind your shoulders. So your wrists are roughly in line with your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. And if it feels good for you, just going to push gently up into a Sphinx pose. So think of the Sphinx in Egypt. That's what we're trying to create here. So really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Keep drawing the navel to your spine. Just lifting, opening the chest. Breathing nice and deep, and exhale, lowering back down. And we're just going to do that once more. Now, if you feel you can go a bit deeper, feel free to bring your hands further back under your shoulders, and you can lift into a cobra pose. So you're pushing into the hands here. But if you want to work a little bit more gently, I recommend staying with the Sphinx tonight and just holding here. So you go wherever feels good for you. So when you're ready, lifting up if you haven't already. Holding the pose, keep the elbows in towards the sides and just breathe nice and strong. Squeezing those shoulders together. Exhale, lowering all the way back down to the mat from wherever you were. And then pushing onto your hands, draw your navel to your spine and just gently push your way back into an extended child's pose once more. Again, just work as deeply as you can, whatever feels good for you. If you want to go up into a down dog, feel free to do that as well. Okay, so again, lots of options here just for you to work with whatever feels good for you tonight. Just opening up the space in your body in a safe way that feels nourishing and feels good. Good. If you're in a down dog, just make your way back down onto your knees. If you're in extended child's pose, just come up, and we're going to make our way back down onto our backs again. So again, if you want to have your cushions nearby you now, I recommend that because there's some options here as we get a bit closer to relaxation. So just make sure you lower yourself down onto the floor nice and safely if the back's uncomfortable at all. And just start with the feet coming in towards your buttocks again. Feel the lower back sinking down into the mat. So we're just going to take a couple of twists. So if the back is feeling at all just uncomfortable, just stay with the first position that I show you. So I'm going to get you to cross your legs again, that go in Makasana position that we did a little bit earlier. Right leg over the left. So the option is to stay here and just play with this position again, if that feels better for you. Or if you want to work into a twist, just allow your arms to come up to shoulder height and just drop your knees over to the right. So again, if you have got lower back issue or sciatic, this might feel okay for you as well. So just explore what feels good. But if it is very niggly or uncomfortable, then just stay nice and central in that first position, just opening up the muscles. If you're in the twist, just allow your head to turn and look to the left. And nice, long, deep breaths. Inhale, slowly coming back to center. Keep the legs crossed and just let them drop over to the left. Head turns and rolls to the right. And again, just notice what's going on in your body and how it feels for you. Notice which side feels easier. And just let the breath guide you into a deep space of relaxation. To release the tension out of your body. Inhale, coming back to center. And just uncrossing the legs. And let's take it to the other side. So left leg over the right. And option, stay here, bring the knees to the chest. Or if you want to twist, just allow the knees, first of all, to drop to the left. Head turns and looks to the right. Feel that lovely opening up through the side of the body. Feel the stretch all the way through your abdominal muscles in the side. Through your oblique muscles. And the more deeply you work the breath, the more you feel the rib cage expanding, opening and closing, working the little muscles in between our ribs. So really use the breath to open those muscles and bring as much oxygen in as you can. So inhale, rolling back to center, keeping the legs exactly as they are, falling over to the right. Head turns and looks to the left. And again, just feel that lovely stretch through the outside of the left side of the body. Keep the shoulders down, face relaxed. I think I forgot one of the most important poses to mention tonight, which is just lifting the edges of your mouth up. So you get a little smile. That helps release all kinds of tension. Always feels good to smile. Inhale, turning to center, uncrossing your legs, and then just bring your right knee to your chest and your left knee to your chest. Give yourself a hug, squeeze, rock from side to side. And then we're going to make our way into relaxation. Now, if you've got a cushion, you might want to pop it underneath your knees. And it just helps you to relax a little bit more into your relaxation. Or you can just go ahead and lie straight into your Savasana pose. Can't say that word tonight, Shavasana. I don't know why I can't say that word tonight, but anyway, just allow your feet to find the corners of your mat. Allow the palms to turn up to the ceiling. And just closing your eyes. The other option as well, if you don't want to extend your legs out, is just to keep the knees bent, but make sure the knees stay together so you've got that feeling of the lower back pushing into the floor again. No tension in that back at all. So just choose whatever feels good for you to completely relax and let go for a few minutes as we start to come towards the end of our time together this evening. So if you haven't already done so, just closing your eyes, bringing your awareness inwards. And just allow yourself to hear the sound of your breath. And in your mind's eye, just imagine yourself on a beach somewhere that you connect with, that you can really visualize, a space that you love, that you feel really peaceful in. And if that doesn't resonate with you, maybe just choose anywhere. Or a visual of a beach, of a scene that appeals to you. Maybe it's somewhere you want to go and visit. And as you listen to the sound of your breath, just imagine you can hear the waves softly rolling in and out on the beach, ebbing and flowing, nice and gentle. Just feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Maybe you can feel the warm sand sliding through your fingertips. And just feel yourself really relaxing, letting go with each out breath.
And just allow yourself to really connect to whatever feeling of peace or stillness or warmth that you're feeling in your body right now, or any other feeling that feels good for you. And just set an intention right now, just to take whatever that feeling is into the rest of your evening, and hopefully into a restful sleep tonight. And then when you feel ready, just slowly start to connect to the breath again, just letting it deepen gradually. And bringing some gentle movement back to your fingers and your toes. And noticing how you want to move now, just to stir yourself a little bit more. Maybe you want to give yourself a hug or take a long stretch, or maybe just twisting. Do what feels good for you. And in your own time, being really gentle with yourself, just slowly rolling to one side and coming to join me in a seated position.